Hi guys, it's Blackie, and today we're going to be talking about my get home bag. Now y'all saw this, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Things kind of run together, just hang loose. But I was talking about how I had upgraded my Ranger roll by adding in the bivy sack from an MS sleep system I'd picked up for cheap to add to it, etc. And I mentioned about this bag. Well, several of you have asked about this bag, so we're going to go over it. Now the first bit is, this is a British military medical pouch surplus. And I am in discussions with making a upgrade version of this for a later project. So just a little behind the scenes. It unsnaps. You have a belt loop right here where you could carry it as a belt loop. You open it and you have access to the top. Then you have these two Velcros that are hooked, which are flat pouches underneath. So you see the whole thing lays out flat. Now let me turn the camera down where you can see it laying out flat, and I'll pull out these contents and show you why this rides my vehicle as my get home set. Okay, like I said, rides like that. When I open it up, I have access to the top pouch first. In the top pouch, right in the top, is one of those U.S. Army style of ponchos. And this is that cheap sil nylon Chinese. Sacrificable, usable for multiple things like emergency shelters, etc. And it does fairly decent rain gear. Not a great shelter, the little grommets are too thin. But I do have it for a quick grab, and it is sil nylon. It's also great to spread out and have a dry place on the ground. Since I'm already carrying a Ranger roll and etc., this becomes redundant, backup, but usable with just this kit. Now straight inside, I have a signaling whistle and a compass. But this is the reason you check your gear. That compass is DOA, see? This winter got it. The liquid in there probably froze or whatever, and it's now non-usable. So this has to be replaced. That's the reason we check our gear. Next is going to be a donut of 550 paracord. Then here in the bottom is a small gather bag that I've re-upcycled. And inside of it is a mesh nylon hammock with the cords, which are jungle knots, to allow me to set up. With this I can quickly rig up either hooking to my vehicle and then a tree or two telephone poles or whatever, get me up off the ground and have a place, especially if I break down, that I can get cool and relaxed. Now, inside of the pouch there's a second inner pouch, a sleeve that runs down the front. You open that up, and inside of it I have one of those SOL hot sheets, the large size. So that it'll go over me or up to one other person for a warm, can be used in cold weather conditions. Remember, inside of my Ranger roll I have a Whoopee and etc. But this is also can be used as a casualty blanket, emergency signaling. It's got that mylar inside, which is shiny, so I can reflect heat as well as reflecting body heat, waterproof, etc. That's in the main pocket. In the next pocket down, which is the middle pocket, this has a roll of toilet paper. I cannot tell you how many times this has saved my canambers, right there. I have a food set. I have a set of fruit punch right there. I have a big handful of small sachets of like the Gatorade-like stuff that comes out of MREs. Then I have a complete main out of a MRE in here. Between that sugar and electrolytes, which I need for heat or for my blood sugar where I need something sweet, and the carbs in this, I'm good for at least 24 hours plus of food. Next, in the front pouch, this is my fire kit. First I start with a big set of Yukio matches, which I have increased and packed extra tinder up in there. I've got the fireboat matches and an extra striker down inside to make sure that I'm going to be able to get a fire going. Ferro rod with duct tape on the handle and a loop for hanging. That way I can use this as an emergency fire starter right there. This is an old NBC kit that we had back in the day, and this has been turned into a medical kit. In here I have got aspirin, I have got Benadryl, I have got that type of stuff, as well as several different types of bandages, cleaning supplies and stuff to take care of me, a bunch of them. This will take care of just about any of my major problems that I would have. That and a bandana, you know, will get me out of it. But most of the boo-boo, small stuff, nauseous on the trail, etc., and it's wrapped with duct tape, another fire source. And this can also be used for a water collection device if I needed to. And then I have one of the smaller reusable space blankets. This is a clean thing that I can open up, lay out on something that's kind of suspect, be able to have a clean place for me to sit down, a place that I can process food or whatever, as well as in the summertime, a big thing down here in the south is a heat reflector. I can utilize this in the winter as a heat reflector. Now I like to take these little flexible ones like this. Now notice that's already a heat reflector. Remember, in my Ranger roll I have an emergency space blanket already set up. This can become a heat reflector on the far side of the fire. I put stakes on the far side of the fire and drape it over that and add a little bit of dirt, and I've got a heat reflector reflecting heat back into my shelter. Quick and easy. And if somebody needs a sterilized where I've got to wrap around an exposed bone and a compound fracture, very handy. So, I also carry water in my thing. In the summertime I carry at least a gallon, sometimes 2 gallons of water in the back. One of my favorite ways to carry is in big 3-liter soda bottles or something that I sterilize and I've talked about. Again, I want something that is sacrificable. If a vehicle is going to be broken into, I don't want to lose some high dollar thing. I'm not going to leave a Grail sitting in there because somebody would steal that. But a 2-liter Pepsi bottle with water in it, plus I can use it in my engine too, can't I? Another little thing I like to carry is a small can of black pepper. Why? If you ever got a hole in a radiator, dump black pepper in and fill the radiator back up, and 9 times out of 10 it'll plug it up enough to get you home. Have extra belts and things for the car. That's a separate video. But for me, I've got water. I've got at least an MRE. Usually I've got other food in there with me at some time. If I'm going anywhere, I've got a haversack or something or packed with food. So if I break down en route, I'm very rarely ever, if I'm driving in city clothes and I'm in the middle of the city, it's not hard to get help. I have to be out in the nowhere to really need this kit. And so therefore it supplies my emergency needs. If I am in the backwoods somewhere, for whatever reason I wasn't planning on being in the woods, and I don't have my actual haversack and etc., I've got enough in here to buy time till help gets to me. Either I'm walking out, or else the vehicle is going to be, someone's coming to help me get my vehicle out. Either way. But there's enough food there and supplies there to get me through, and that's the important part. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. And like I said, I am talking right now with my niece Trinity of possibly replicating this pouch and maybe making these pouches a little bit differently that's hooked to it, but the same basic idea for a future pouch of some kind. So that's a little tease for what may be coming down the line. We shall see. If you like this content, guys, please hit me a like and share and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.